All right, guys, free to choose. The Tyranny of Controls, Chapter 2. Now we're on still on Chapter 2. We're on like a main sub, which is called Controls of Freedom. And within this one, we have these subs of sub chapter, or like highlighted. What I mean this, so the main chapter is the Tyranny of Controls, and you got things like this, Controls and Freedom. But then in here, you got even smaller breakdowns. So just to give you some. So right here is just Controls and Freedom. In chapter 2, the tyranny of controls. Controls and freedom. Not too long, right? Though the United States has not adopted central economic planning, no central government, we have gone very far in the past 50 years in expanding the role in government in the economy. That intervention has been costly in economic terms. The inter Yeah, like regulations. When they say regulations, that's the government putting regulations on people being able to do business. I can't I can't dig here because we can't cut these trees down, or we can't grow here, or there's like I don't know. It's a lot of things get in the way, especially in different states. That's why insurance companies are leaving here. Car insurance, home insurance companies. They're just not incentivized to stay. And this country wants things. This state specifically. That's the problem. That this state specifically is kind of a going against what the founding of America, capitalism, of freedom to prosper and change. And I mean, like, and these people who are pushing this are also rich people. It's like, it's like it doesn't make sense. They also get paid by lobbyists, and these are some of the most powerful people in the world, most wealthiest people, the most wealthiest people in the world, the 1%, the 1% of the 1%, they vote Democrat because they know what's going on. A true capitalist, he wants to uplift you and you to be free. The limitations imposed on our economic freedom threaten to bring 2 centuries of economic progress to an end. Intervention has also been costly in political terms. It has greatly limited our human freedom. The United States remains a predominantly free country, one of the freest major countries in the world. However, in the words of Abraham Lincoln's famous House Divided speech, a house divided against itself cannot stand. I do not expect the house to fall, but I do expect it will cease to be divided. A house divided against itself cannot stand. I do not expect the house to fall, but I do expect it will cease to be divided. It will become all one thing or all the other. He was talking about human slavery. His prophetic words apply equally to government intervention into the economy. Were it to go much further, our divided house would fall on the collectivist side. Fortunately, evidence grows that the public is recognizing the danger and is determined to stop and reverse the trend toward ever bigger government. All of us are affected by the status quo, hence why people are getting turned on by Trump. We tend to take for granted the situation as it is. To regard, we tend to take for granted the situation as it is. And I agree. I'm telling you, immigrants are coming here, and just like your family came here and prospered, and they're doing that right before your eyes while you're complaining. And we tend to take for granted the situation as it is. Don't be mad. Don't be mad that it's happening. Compete. Don't be afraid to compete. We tend to take for granted the situation as it is, to regard it as the natural state of affairs. It's not though. Especially when it has been shaped by a series of small, gradual changes. It is hard to appreciate how great the cumulative effect has been. It takes an effort of the imagination to get outside the existing situation and view it with fresh eyes. The effort is well worth making. The result is likely to come as a surprise, not to say a shock. He's talking about in all manners what they're trying to do to limit you, and also how beautiful the situation is. All of us are affected by the status quo. We tend to take for granted the situation as it is, to regard it as the natural state of affairs, especially when it has been shaped by a series of small, gradual changes. It is hard to appreciate how great the cumulative effect has been. It takes an effort of the imagination to get outside the existing situation and view it with fresh eyes. The effort is well worth making. The result is likely to come as a surprise, not to say a shock. That's why they attack the young people, man. That's why the young vote is critical, because they're easy to manipulate. Easy. I was manipulated. I see what's wrong on both ends, but we live in a like, dude, like, let's just love our family. Let's appreciate our families more. Let's look at the miracle that is. Like, damn, we sustain this shit. Like, I can't afford shit. How does my parents be able to sustain this shit? How do my folks be able to? That's why relationships are even more vital. Two people, it's vital they work together to try to afford something, even if it's the smallest room in the world. Immigrants are doing that right now. They live in little cracks in downtown. They live in little cuts, but they're trying to make it work. We got to do that. We got to stop being, oh, I'm too good for this or that, or like, yeah, we definitely got to. If this world, if it flips upside down, the ones that are going to be suited are the ones that aren't so have all their priorities in materialism, but the ones that are can adjust and be say, I don't need all this. I have morals, I have values, things that are important to me are beyond monetary. I don't rely on, you know, when things crack off. What changed for me? I was already poor. Like when COVID hit, I was already fucking dealing with mental issues. Oh shit! What it did, it just said, oh, everybody else is dealing with it too. I'm not the only one. When COVID hit, bro, I was already in a jacked up place, dude. COVID just, dang. I don't want to thank God because I know a lot of people struggled, people died, but it was like people are starting to see what I was starting to see, what I had been seeing. It was almost a blessing, but like I said, people died. I don't want to be selfish, but peace, y'all. That was a little small part of Free to Choose.